how do you go about choosing a personal injury attorney? If I Google personal injury attorney in our county we live in, a whole list is going to come up.
This is a subject that I've written about, I've lectured on, I've been speaking on this for many, many years. The advent of the technological world that we live in today is such that you can find someone who is a specialist in preparing grapefruit with bananas and on a red piece of paper at 4:12 p.m. in the afternoon. There is no end to the specialization and to the proliferation of experts to do anything that you want to do. Now we narrow that down to attorneys. You can go onto websites, you can call the local Better Business Bureau, you can, there's just no end
To the research.
to the research and the resources that are available to the average person looking for a good attorney. I have one answer for this question, how to find a good attorney, and the answer is basically that it does require work. It requires you to get on the phone and interview these attorneys, and it requires you to make a judgment call, because you're never going to know, but your instinct is going to be your best guide.
But how can I know what even to ask you?
Well-
I mean, that's the key thing here. I've never had an accident. I'm just being devil's advocate.
Sure.
And I call you up and say, look, I got in an accident, I have back pain, my neck hurts, all the symptoms. What questions am I going to ask you?
Well, see, this is why I think a forum like this is excellent, because I thrill in being able to educate and to inform. And you're exactly right. The average person has not ever been in a collision, doesn't know what to do, doesn't know who to talk to, doesn't know who to call. A good attorney understands everything and is going to explain that on the first call. So if you call the XYZ law firm and it takes you 20 minutes to get to a paralegal who then tells you that a lawyer is in court and they can call you back maybe tomorrow, that to me is a hang-up.
Really?
Absolutely.
Okay.
If an attorney is interested in working for you, there's two reasons. One, hopefully they want to help you, and two, they're going to make some money in the process. But the point is that if they're putting their door out there that they're going to allow to be opened, in my mind, it's a process of education. So somebody gets on the phone, I hear this all the time from potential clients. What do I do? What are my rights? What should I, what am I looking for? How long is it going to take? There's a myriad list of questions, and some people have 2 and some people have 40. And it's my job for that potential client to give them the information to tell them this is what happens, this is why, this is how, this is when. These are the things that I consider to be important in the education of a client. And it's my belief that if I give this information to somebody, they're going to have a comfort level with me, and they're going to appreciate that I spent my time uncompensated giving them information before they ever told me that they were going to be my client.
Right, because after spending 20 minutes, you may never see them.
Right. Now, how do they get to me? Well, there's a myriad of ways. I mean, you can go to the internet, you can go to all your friends, you can go to your barber, you can go to your doctor, you can go to any place. You want to get 4 or 5 names, and you want to pick up the phone and you want to just have a feel for how that attorney is interacting with you. And in that process, again, I am a very strong believer in gut instinct and gut feeling.
Right. You'll sense.
You'll sense this is a person who's there to help me, or this is a person who thinks that I'm just another number, or
that you're just trying to get the case to generate certain amount of income, which will come at the end of the case.
Well, and it does. I mean, I've never, apologized for taking a fee, because I believe I earn it, I deserve it. But the first part is a human piece. There's a human interaction where somebody is hurting. They don't have a car, they can't get to work, they have an injury, they're worried about their medical process, and are they going to recover, and how are they going to pay bills, and who's going to pay the bills?
Right.
I am particularly sensitive to these things because I've seen the pain, I've experienced it in my household with family members. Again, so when you get that attorney on the phone, you're just going to have a mental checklist. I mean, it's not like you're going to be associating with this new best friend. This isn't a significant other as a date.
Right.
But there is a relationship, and it has to be more than just a hand distance relationship of professional attorney and client.
Just tell me what happened.
Tell
and
me-
That's about it.
Right. Tell me,
Gotcha.
tell me what I need to know, Mr. Lawyer, and and if I accomplish that, if I give them that comfort level, then they've found a good attorney.
attorney.
Then they
Gotcha.
found a good attorney.
Real quick, going to court, is that part of something you do a lot of, or any personal attorney does a lot of?
There are attorneys who settle cases, and that's all they do. And there's attorneys who go to court, and that's all they do. And I have found a mix because I like what I do in both arenas. But because I'm willing to go to court, and I do go to court, and I fight for clients, I get better settlements than attorneys who don't go to court. And so the answer is yes.
When you need to.
When we go to court when we need to. As my client, you don't want to go to court.
Right.
And the insurance company doesn't want to go to court.
Yeah, because then they have to have an attorney.
Right. But
That's when-
if we're that far apart in how we value the case,
Right.
then great. Let's
Go
go.
to-
Let's let a judge or a jury decide.
Great. Well, I have a lot more questions for you, but it looks like our time may be running out today, so I want to save them for our next episode. Drive carefully, stay healthy, and join us again next week when we're going to introduce some other very interesting topics and questions about personal injury cases. Thank you so much.
Thank you again for having me.